First and foremost, I'm going to start off with giving our praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Kakadash. Double honors as a part of great millstone, talking the truth and real well. Peace, blessing, and salutation. I come out there, scattered bars of the four corners of the earth, that's serving the truth and true sincerity. To I say Shalom. This is about Nabala, continue the video in the spirit. And the topic of this video is going to be about Here We Go Again. And this is going into this new variant that sprung out of nowhere, that has started over here on this cruise ship, and now this started last week, and I just been monitoring, seeing what's been going on. Apparently it started on over there at this ship. 3 people reportedly died on the ship from it, and now it's getting to the point where they're allowing people who are on that ship to that I guess are from here. I don't know if they're from USA or whatever, or they're from America, but they're allowing them to come back, and they're being dispersed to these different cities. They say there's 2 people who were exposed are in Atlanta. They say there's another state that someone was exposed they're in too. So here we go again, man. And we see what's going on. And to be honest, if you get caught up with this one, if you let E get you with the okie doke with this one, and that's on you, man, because we've seen this before. We've seen this before. We've seen how it's gonna play out. We understand, what's the plan behind it. But in the end, he's still gonna get who he's meant to get. He's still gonna be able to not pull the wool, but basically to get Jake with the okie doke, man. Because how does he's gonna play on the fear, man? He's gonna play on the fear of people, the fear of what? Of getting whatever it is. Because he plays with the numbers. First, he's saying that they start with the numbers, saying, "Oh, we got cases here, we got cases here." And he's gonna say, "Okay, we got these people done died from this, these people done died from this." Then he's saying it has a 50% chance of you being deceased if you catch it. So he's playing with the numbers, and playing with the numbers is going to strike fear in these people's hearts, and that's how he's going to okie doke you into what? When he comes out with another job, because he's going to come with another job. That's when a disease or anything comes out, what Esau relies on is his science, is his medicine. So they're going to come out with something so they can put some more stuff in your body, man. And if you are smart and been watching what's happened since 2020 until now, you realize that the people that did take that had a lot of health issues, man. Had a lot of health issues. I remember this one NW, Eve, she said how she was going to the doctor regularly and she didn't have no problems, no health problems, no medical history, nothing like that. But after she took that jab, she started having hella complications, man. You got people that was dropping dead. Then you also had, when they did a story, you got to, I think it was on Amazon. It was on some, I don't remember where exactly it was on, but how when people that was dead and they was doing autopsies and stuff like that, when they was pulling out blood clots, they was saying that the blood clots was not normal. There was abnormal blood clots that was they was taking out of people's bodies, man. Which was a result of people taking that jab. So we know what's going on, man. But also, it's more to it than him just trying to put another job. He's also doing this so what he can get further to implementing in his new system, which is going to entitle the MOTB, being brought forth and then being made mandatory, man. Because if he's able to get over on people like he wants to, and strike and have people in that much fear where they don't want to touch anything, or social distancing and all that stuff, he's gonna come with the solution. But you ain't have to worry about dealing with physical money or be so hands-on with stuff. We got this new way where you can just wave your hand, you ain't, or this, that, and the third. You ain't gotta worry about all of that. He's gonna make it seem so convenient, and that's how he's gonna get over people, especially when we see how this thing plays out. If he really hides the numbers and make this makes this seems like it's more than what it really is, then he's gonna be able to do what he wants to do. You know. So I'm gonna grab this. This is 1 Peter 5:8. It says, "Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour." And that's what he's doing, man. Okay, he's roaming around seeking who he may devour. Who's the ones who's ultimately trying to devour? He's trying to devour Jake, man. You know, he's trying to get Jacob out the way. You know, but he's going to get some of his own too. You know, because that's what Esau is. Esau doesn't care about his own, man. He doesn't care about no one but himself. And I'm talking about the elites, man. The elites, the ones in that upper echelon. They don't care about you regular people out here, man. And you see that because it was a point of, Jake, we've been struggling. We've been struggling all our life, man. We've been struggling for years, you know, due to the curses. But now you see E, you know, that Deuteronomy 37 taking place where these other nations, especially E, are struggling from the curses now too, man. And now they're crashing out. And then they have E, these regular Edomites are realizing that Trump doesn't care for them, man. You know, that their best interest is not in his plans, man. So they're waking up to the fact, so it's causing uproars, man. So not only is he still trying to come against Jake, he's always doing that, but he got to get his own up out of here too, man, because it's causing uproars. People are starting to wake up. People are starting to realize, you know, what's going on, connecting the dots and stuff like that. So what? He wants to have that total control over people, and if you are against his agenda and against his plans, then you're an enemy in his eyes, and you're disposable. So yeah, he's going about seeking whom he can devour, man. So that's why it says, "Be sober, be vigilant." We got to be sober. Means what? Spiritually, you know, mentally, you know, not out here just having your head stuck up your ass, man. Not out here just moving loosely, willy-nilly, while real things are happening in the world, man. And this is what we've been telling Jake from our apostles and elders for years on down. You know, be sober, be vigilant. You know, be on your watch, be circumspect. You know, watch what's going on. Don't be out here just living, man. Because you got Jake that's out here just living. You know, we reside in Michigan, and all you see, and I be looking, you know, just on social media, you know, bro, people, they be having the parties damn near be starting on Tuesdays, okay, but they be having their little lineups for the weekend, or for the weekend. They got a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday lineup every week, bro, every week, and it's the same people that do that shit every week, man. That's all they want to do, man. They just out here living, man. Just I'm gonna go to do my work, do whatever I do, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm back to it. Next week, same thing. That's all they out here doing. And they not paying attention to what's going on, man. And then they want also, when they be hearing about certain things, when they hear about the gas going up, when they hear about this new variant, you know, they hear about, you know, war talks. And some people still don't even know that we're in the middle of a war right now. But they hear about these things. They use the world as their outlet to forget about them things, and then they think, since it's not immediately impacting them, which it is impacting them, but they don't, since it's not detrimental yet, then they think they're in a good case, and they're gonna find out, man, they're in for a rude awakening, man. And then when you have the men out here that's giving you the warning, you know, telling you what's going on, y'all don't want to listen to us, man. Y'all want to say we crazy, man, because y'all have been programmed to think that, yeah, okay, things are going to happen, you know, but things that are happening now are not normal. But y'all been programmed to think that, okay, things are going to happen, bad things are going to happen, this is going to happen, that's going to happen, but it's going to be some solution, something's going to come from it, and it is going to be a solution. And the solution is he's going to crash this economy, and he's going to come with his solution, which is going to entitle the MOTB, man. And if you want to continue to live in this society and be a part of this world, you're going to have to conform to that. And if you choose to conform to that, then ultimately you're choosing to partake in the judgment that comes with that. So all we doing is telling you not to fall for it, man. But y'all not gonna listen to us, man. That's why we're getting real close to the talking is about to be done. It ain't about to be too much talking, man, because the ones who was meant to hear it and supposed to hear it have heard it, and the few out there that still haven't heard it yet, it's getting close, man. You know. So this is 2 Corinthians 2:11. It says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we're not ignorant of his devices. We're not ignorant of Satan's devices. That's in his truth, man. You know, that has the wisdom and knowledge and understanding. You know, Satan can't get over on us, man. He done ran the same place so many times, man. It's like the tush push, you know. In football, you know, the Eagles, who's very known for running it, they run it over and over and over again. It's very effective. It don't stop. You can't stop it. You know, and he's gonna run it over and over again until you stop it, man. And that's what E is doing now, man. He's gonna continue to do the same thing. But the reason why he's gonna continue to do the same thing, because he knows at the end of the day, you people are gonna continue to keep falling for it, man. Especially Jake, because Jake is a very simple-minded people, man. Very simple, you know. And then they look at E as being that man still. You know, hey man, whatever, they still take whatever he say as his law, or as shit, you gotta do what he says, man. But throughout history, anytime you've been conformed to this man, listen to this man, try to follow by this man's rules, what benefit has this gotten you? It hasn't gotten us none. Jake is still struggling. Jake is selling the bomb, but you have some Jake who's been able to do decent for themselves, or fairly good for themselves, and they think they made it. And they haven't made anything, man. You've just been able to live a little bit more comfortable than the average Jake. But this man still is not for you, man. You can still so-called be living comfortably, be doing really good for yourself. But in any given day, if you get pulled over, that could be it for you. Or any given day, you can go out here in a race and run into a racist at E and get called a nigger, or still looked down upon, man. So why would you want to still be in servitude to a system like that, man? Why would you still want to be in league with a man like that? But Jake gonna find out the hard way. That's why the Lord is doing what he's doing, man. And yes, if and when, because I surely believe, as well as how the brother's been saying, there will be another lockdown, and this another lockdown is not gonna be like the last one. And that's another thing. You got Jake that is in the mindset of, okay, say and people in general, but mainly Jake though, because Jake always wants something handed to him. Say it is another lockdown. They gonna think it's gonna be like the first one, where unemployment was you could just go file for unemployment, and they give you the base pay and throw an extra $600 or whatever on top of it, and then at some point in time Trump hit you with another stimulus. It's not gonna be like that. Why? Because we don't have no money. When I say we, I'm talking about America. America don't have no money, man. We are in tremendous debt, man. Ain't no money to give y'all. If you look at the economy, how they gonna give you money when businesses is constantly closing left and right, man? Why do you think these businesses are closing? They're not closing because they just they not closing just because they want to. They closing because they have to, because there ain't no more money. He's getting rid of fundings for these different programs. Why are these things happening? But you think you gonna get your ass some unemployment or stimulus check? You a damn fool. And this is all part of Esau's plan. He's been strategically doing these things, man. They sit down and plan these things out. And they've been planning these things out for years. That's why you go over here to Micah 2:1. It says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hands." Yeah, man. They sit down in their secret consoles, man. You know, behind closed doors, the ones who you will never see. You know, even if you was to see them in your regular life, you wouldn't know who they were. The elites, man, the ones who's pulling all the strings. They sit down. They have their meetings, and they plan these things out. And they've been planning these things out for years. And they put these little things, like in the show Simpsons, or say you catch a little movie or something, showing they have these little meetings, and they treat it as a conspiracy theory. Like, okay, they could be doing stuff like this, or they could not. Who truly knows, man? Or they'll try to put it in a movie as a little comedy thing. They'll take people to this little room or whatever and do these little rituals or ceremony or whatever the hell it was, man, and try to, play like it's a conspiracy theory, but it's not. They actually do these things, They just put it in front of your face because they know that what? They can get over on you, and you're probably not going to believe it, man. You're just going to take it as entertainment. But they can't say that they didn't tell you, man, because that's what Esau has to do. He has to show you what his plan is before he actually do it. So, and that's what they do. So everything that's been happening since DJ T done got his ass in office, everything he's been doing for a reason, man. The laws are already set in place for when they really want to start rolling, man. He's really putting that tight squeeze on this place and making that separation between the rich and the poor, because he only wants to have a two-class society. Damn, there ain't no more middle-class society. Ain't no more of that. The cost of living is high as hell. It's hard for people to maintain the way they were living. So you either gotta downsize, or maintain. And the only one who's maintaining is the rich. If you ain't rich, man, you downsizing, man. And you hear that a lot, especially with Esau now. You hear them, they having them financial problems. They gotta move here. They gotta get rid of this. They gotta get rid of that, man. We are in a collapsing society, and if this thing picks up steam and actually takes off like we think it will, it's gonna be very, very interesting. So I'm gonna grab this. This is Proverbs 21:1. It says, "The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, as the rivers of the water. He turneth it wheresoever he will." Yeah, because you got DJT as the front man. He's the face, but you have the elites that's pulling the strings behind closed doors. But who's ultimately in control? How about Shimon Shah's in control, man? He's doing this, man. He's creating these things to happen. And then you got people in the world who wants to give Eve and man too much power. But this is the Lord's movie. This is his play. The Lord's in control. I'm gonna come over here to Isaiah 45:7. It says, "I form the lark and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things." So the Lord is causing all these things to happen in the earth that we're seeing right now, man. Why? Because we're in a time the Lord is starting to pass judgment. Just yesterday, man, you just had two. One was an NBA player. He was 29 years old. He died. Then this other dude, his name was, I think, Jason Collins or something like that. If I'm not mistaken, I think he was part of that community. I think he was that one of the ones part of that community. If I'm not mistaken, don't quote me for sure. But the name, definitely, I think that's his name, man. He was part of that community. So he supposedly had some type of stage 4 cancer or disease or something like that, man. That was his cause. And they saying the dude who died, the NBA player, 29-year-old Brandon Clark, supposedly he died because of an overdose. Which doesn't make sense for real, because he's in the NBA. He just finished the season. He's making thousands, if not millions of dollars. I mean, yeah, we understand that, people, you can be the person what you want to do, but it didn't make sense for him to have an OD problem, especially if he's playing it like he's never really had no history of nothing like that. So I don't know, man, it's not really making sense, but it is what it is. But then also, he would do shit like this. He will whack a nigga just to keep you distracted, man. And that's what he's constantly on, man. Constantly just trying to put distraction and on top of distraction right in front of you, so you can forget about what's actually going on and get caught up in that. And that's why that 1 Peter 5:8 is so important. Be sober, be vigilant, man. Because he's roaming around seeking who can devour. He's gonna put something like this variant out there, but he's gonna constantly try to put other news and other distractions out there to kind of push it on the back burner. And you can't allow those things to happen, man. You have to continue to stay on your watch, man. So I'm gonna grab this. This is 2nd Ezra 16 and 14. It says, "Behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the whole earth. It says the fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundations of the earth." Yeah, man. And that's what's happening, man. People think everything's gonna go back to normal. Ain't no more normal. There's no more normal. This is the world that we live in, and it's going to continue to get worse and worse. Everything's going to continue to progress until what? It consumes the whole world till it's all hell, all chaos out here. Okay? Because it is chaos happening in these other parts of the world, man. It just hasn't fully reaching its full height here in America yet. But you can best believe it's coming soon. You know? So and that's what people don't realize, man. You know, like I said earlier, they thinking that they've been programmed to think things are going to get better, things are going to get good at some point in time, but they're not, man. These plagues are going to continue to come. And what are some of these plagues? I'm gonna jump down to verse 18. It says, "The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the partial stand in fear. And then the beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come?" So those are some of the things that's going to be happening, man. Great mournings, okay? People are going to be in a very mournful state. They're in a mournful state now. It's only going to get worse and worse, you know? If gas keeps going up like it's going up, man, it's going to have and it continue to have the effect on everything like it is now, man, you're going to hear more outcries. Famine, that's going to cause famine. Okay, where them shelves not gonna be as stocked up as they was. I mean, people's refrigerators not gonna be as full. They freezers not gonna be as full. They houses is not gonna be that much full with food and water and stuff like that. And that's gonna turn people what? You gonna really see people true colors in that day. It says in great depth. 2 people just died in like an hour span with each other. I said, damn. I even said, damn, 2 people in one day? Mind you, people dying every day, you know, but I'm saying, you know, you got an NBA player and then someone who's also part of the Steelers in the NBA on a different role. They both died the same day. Damn. But the Lord not playing no more. And it says, "The beginning of wars and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come?" The beginning of evils, man, it's getting serious out here. Like it says in Matthew 24. "Iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold," man. I did a video a while ago, probably a week or so ago. It says we're living in a cold world, man. Yeah, and it's only gonna get colder and colder, man. So I'm gonna grab this. Don't make this too long. This is Ephesians 5:15. It says, "See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the times because the days are evil." Yeah, we're living in evil days, man. So you gotta be circumspect. Don't be out here with no fool, man. Don't be out here just on that partying BS and just not caring mentality. You know, like in the days of Noah. Noah was prophesying for 120 years that the rain was gonna come, and they didn't believe until that till them drops start falling, man. The same thing we doing with y'all. We're telling you that what? Esau is getting ready to roll, man. You know, these camps, these facilities, they already set up. You know, they already in play. You know, martial law troops roaming the streets. You know, him coming in, grabbing people up, slaying people. You know, we telling you all these things are going to take place, man. Famine. We're telling you all these things are going to take place. And then we're ultimately telling you that the MOTB is going to be brought out and made mandatory. And if you take that, you're going to partake in the judgment. And what's the judgment? And I'm going to grab that scripture and I'm going to close off. Because what's the judgment for taking that? 2 Peter 3:10. It says, "But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night." We're telling you that Yahweh Shai is getting ready to return, man. Who the word English calls Jesus Christ, man, the Messiah, the Mashiach. His name is Yahweh Shai. He's getting ready to return, man. And it's going to come as a thief in the night when you're not expecting it. You know? So we're trying to tell you to get ready. It says, repent. we're telling Jake to repent, man. Repent and come serve the Lord. And it says, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. And what's that talking about? It's talking about the nuclear destruction, man. You know, the Lord is going to destroy this place with thermonuclear destruction, man, as well as a laser beam from the chariots. So everything in this place is going to be burned up. And if you take, because that's a judgment for this place, that's a judgment for Babylon. Okay, this place has polluted the whole earth, so you have to destroy this place. And if you join to this place by taking the MOTB, by conforming to this place ways of living, you know, by bowing down to this place, then you're going to partake in that destruction as well, man. And that's what we're telling you. So verse 11 says, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons are you to be in all holy conversation and godliness? So what is your conduct going to be in these times? And what is our conduct? You know, we're being sober, we're being vigilant, we're being circumspect, we know that we're in the evil days, man. We understand all these things, man. So what we're getting ready. You know, we're preparing ourselves. And how are we preparing ourselves? Mentally and spiritually, not physically. You know, yeah, it's good to make sure that you are in some type of shape. You ain't out here just being a slouch and sloppy and lazy. But ultimately, what? We're preparing ourselves by getting right with Yahweh Shem Yahushua and seeking it. Like it says, for once you was going astray, so now you're being returned back. Seek the Lord 10 times more. We're continually seeking Yahweh Shem Yahushua, building up our faith, building up our relationship. Because when all this shit hits the fan, all we're going to have is our relationship and our faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushua, as well as the wisdom and knowledge and understanding with these scriptures. Because it says in Isaiah 33:6, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. So if you don't have this wisdom and knowledge, if you haven't been arming yourself with this wisdom and knowledge and building up your faith and your relationship with Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you're going to be through, man. And we ain't going to have nothing to tell you. You know, you're just going to be out here. You're going to be just assed out, and you're going to have to deal with that. So again, you know, just be on your watch, man. It's things are heating up and intensifying, and you're going to get caught out here lacking if you ain't getting right with the Lord. So that's pretty much it. Whoever in this video is edifying, close up by giving our praises to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Kakadash, Shalom.